Here goes.
Yor Forger, the seemingly ordinary office clerk at Berlint City Hall, slightly ditzy, awkward, but undeniably good-hearted and kind. Not exactly the type of person you would expect to be a top-level assassin working for Garden, an elite shadow agency that eliminates traitors in the dead of night. Following her in this investigation has been fascinating, not only watching her juggle the double life of being Yor Forger's fake wife, but also managing her brutal assassination missions. Whether it's launching a tennis ball at the speed of sound, or getting hit by a car and somehow doing more damage to the vehicle than herself, Yor never ceases to surprise. So what exactly are we uncovered about Yor Forger, also known as the Thorn Princess, in today's investigation?
He knows.
To start, we must first analyse Yor's combat feats and physical power to determine her strength in survival situations. Obviously, the first thing we have to mention is her inhuman strength. At first glance, Yor doesn't look like somebody capable of extraordinary feats, but the moment she steps into action, she performs some of the most insane displays of power no ordinary human could dream of pulling off. We've seen her destroy a forest with a single dodgeball throw, hit a tennis ball at the speed of sound in a split second, and even shoot the bell off of a street game with pinpoint accuracy. Can we talk about how no one ever calls her out on this? Like seriously, how is this normal? During that tennis match, she literally shattered the ball like it was nothing. Loid, you're a spy. How is this not setting off any alarm bells?
What kind of reason is that?
Anyway, moving on. This raw strength alone puts Yor far beyond every other character in the show. That kind of sheer force would obliterate most opponents, from Yor Forger to Mau Mau and even Thorfinn. But when you combine her physical power with her refined combat techniques as the Thorn Princess, she makes a solid case for reaching threat level hero. We've seen her block bullets, wipe out groups of armed assailants, and even survive being hit by a car without taking damage. Her battle instincts and durability alone would let her hold her own against heavyweights like Sakamoto. On top of that, Yor has a unique hidden ability, bloodlust detection. She can instantly sense whether somebody has the intent to kill, even against opponents like Ball and Chain Barnaby, who can conceal bloodlust until the last second. Yor still manages to protect her clients and react in an instant.
Mama is super scary.
Her supernatural reflexes and acrobatic ability make her nearly impossible to sneak up on. And even if you do, good luck landing a killing blow when she's already sensed your presence. So while she's still technically human and bound by the limitations of her universe, her combat skills and raw power rank her impressively high on the threat level system. A very good report indeed. But remember, agents, power isn't everything. A wise woman can take out a whole army on her own if the timing is right. So how does she fare when it comes to a battle of wits? On the surface, Yor doesn't exactly come across as the sharpest tool in the shed. She's ditzy, gullible, and hilariously awkward in social settings, often panicking about her cover story and blurting out the wrong thing at the worst possible time. Her entire life has revolved around being an assassin, with blending into society being more of a side mission. And when your day job is murder, deception, and hiding bodies, it's no wonder that fitting in with normal humans doesn't come naturally to her. She's surprisingly disciplined and neat to a fault, but when it comes to cooking or social situations, honestly, it's surprising she hasn't accidentally killed more people than she has on purpose. Yet the second she steps into combat, everything changes. As the Thorn Princess, Yor becomes frighteningly focused and precise. She sizes up opponents instantly, strikes without hesitation, and reacts to danger with instincts so sharp most enemies don't even have time to think before they're on the ground. Her weakness, however, is in her strategy. Unlike Loid's brilliant tactical mind, Yor relies more on brute strength than clever traps or psychological games. On her own, this can hold her back, but pair her up with somebody who knows how to plan around her abilities, like Lelouch or Twilight, and she becomes nearly unstoppable. That said, Yor's trusting nature makes her vulnerable to manipulation. It doesn't take much to play her, whether it's Nightfall exploiting her insecurities to try and break up the Forger family. And also, Yor often defaults to childlike defensiveness when she feels emotionally cornered. Her pure heart, ironically, could make her an easy target for a cunning enemy who knows how to push the right buttons. But make no mistake, if you ever end up on the wrong side of her blade, there's no hesitation. She will cut you down without a second thought. And now we move on to the final stage of the investigation, her unique traits that elevate her from civil servant to high priority threat in the field. Yor has insane poison resistance. Thanks to her assassin training, most toxins don't affect her the way they should. The best example comes in her date with Loid, right after she had literally been shot in the butt. An escaped gang member, furious from the previous night's raid, slips lethal pufferfish poison into her cocktail. The amount would kill almost any human instantly, but when Yor drinks it, it basically works as a giant painkiller, giving her zero harmful side effects.
What's up, kiddo?
And the same goes for alcohol. Yor's tolerance is ridiculous. For her to even get tipsy, she has to down an absurd amount. We're talking an entire bottle of scotch or multiple bottles of wine. Realistically, no poison on earth would even scratch her system. In fact, her resistance puts her above characters like Mau Mau and even the Hasherer from Demon Slayer in terms of how little the toxins affect her. But Yor's advantages don't stop at the physical. Her natural ditzy personality actually doubles as the perfect form of camouflage. Unlike Loid, who carefully constructs his disguises with precision and calculation, Yor is just herself. And that's exactly why she is so dangerous. If she were ever interrogated, she wouldn't have to lie or keep a story straight, because she is the person she pretends to be. Kind, caring, and a little scatterbrained. It's a disguise that no one would ever suspect. And because of that, even characters with bloodlust detection, like Sakamoto, wouldn't register her as a threat until it was already too late.
Sorry, that's my fault.
What? I don't understand what happened.
And by the time she makes her move, the fight could already be over. Oh, and can we just circle back to her strength again? Because seriously, everybody in this story is just letting this slide. Nightfall, if you wanted a reason to replace Yor, here it is. She is insanely powerful. This is not normal. Obviously, she is not an office clerk. How is nobody questioning this?
What kind of reason is that?
Anyway, and with that, the investigation has concluded. So where will we put Yor Forger in the threat level system? At the end of the day, she is one of the most fascinating characters we have investigated so far. On the surface, she's a clumsy, kind-hearted office worker who can't cook to save her life and constantly struggles to keep her story straight. But beneath that harmless exterior lies the Thorn Princess, a top-tier assassin with inhuman strength, deadly instincts, supernatural reflexes, and resistances to poison that would drop almost anybody else on the spot. Her greatest weakness isn't physical at all, it's all emotional. Yor's trusting nature, gullibility, and insecurities make her vulnerable to manipulation, yet when the blades come out, she is one of the deadliest fighters in the world. So with all that considered, we have to rank her above everyone else in Spy Family and place her into the threat level hero. But because of her emotional vulnerabilities and the natural limits of her universe, she can't quite reach the heights of top tier monsters like Mash Burndead or Sepus. That's why Yor Forger sits comfortably at threat level hero C tier. That concludes our Yor Forger investigation. Do you think she deserves a higher rank, or does her reliance on brute strength hold her back? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next target. Thank you for watching.